Welcome in, everybody, to episode 164 of Amalgamation Nation, the AM Nation pod. It is Thursday, April 29th, 2021. We've got a lot of gaming news to get into tonight, as well as we're also multitasking and watching the first round of the NFL draft at the same time. Now, because last year I thought ahead and I didn't do a gaming show during the draft, but this time I was like, no, there's nothing going on Thursdays. We're fine. But yeah, we're going to do both at the same time. We'll have our recap of the draft on Tuesday's sport episode. As always, you can find the podcast on your podcast platform of choice, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and more. Just search Amalgamation Nation and make sure you follow the shows on there. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram. It's at AM Nation Pod on both of those. On YouTube, search Amalgamation Nation and hit that sub button. And of course, if you want to be a part of any of the shows, you can leave a voicemail or text the show at 815-556-9089 with all of your questions, your comments, all those good things. You can watch us stream Tuesdays and Thursdays on twitch.tv/undeadblackbull, where we are with David on here. Tuesdays are sports, Thursdays are gaming, unless we change it up sometimes as well. Of course, you can follow him on there and sub to him as well. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free sub. So make sure each month. So give it to Undead Black Bull. And also, if you're looking to upgrade, keeping track of your video games, download the GG app. You can search at AM Nation Pod on there too and follow us. We've got reviews that BK has worked on, lists that I've been working on as well, and tons of cool stuff. It's the best way to keep track of the video games you want to play, games you are playing, your backlog, all that good stuff. So go ahead and check that out. And we're doing a really cool thing for the entire month of May. Us and Undead Black Bull, we are working with raising money for the St. Jude's Children's Hospital, like I said, through the month of May. Last year, the goal was $100. Everybody crushed it. David took a pie to the face. It was really cool. And then somebody started the trend that I would take a pie in the face. Yes, that was David that started that, indeed. And then some of the loyal listeners, including Elaine and Gary from Iowa, hopped in on that and said, I'd like to see Ryan get a pie in the face. Yeah, that's going to be really cool. And I obviously, Gary, that was you. I got you, buddy. And we were sitting there, and I was like, oh, wow, no, we'll see. So David set the number at $500. If we raise $500 by the end of May, yes, to start the month of June, I will take a pie to the face. So go ahead and you can find the link on our Twitter at AM Nation Pod. It's the pinned tweet, and as well as David's tweeted as well at Undead Black Bull. So check that out and donate. Do it for the kids. Do it for the kids. Like I said, this is a gaming episode, and joining me this evening from North Carolina, Brendan BK Kennerly. BK, how are you, sir?
Doing good. Ready for the weekend. Got my hair cut. Got the beard edged up yesterday too. So feeling good. Ready for the weekend, man. Bring it on.
Oh, hell yeah. Also joining us this evening, Guadalupe Himoliana Escobar. Junior, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you?
Oh, doing peachy keen. I was wrong again because Devontae Smith still hasn't been picked. Penei Sewell from Oregon got picked instead by the Lions, so I'm wrong again. So there's that. But other than that, I'm doing peachy keen, bro. Doing peachy keen. Rounding out the crew this evening from twitch.tv/UndeadBlackBull. David, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty great. And Carlos, I'm pretty sure it was Carlos, but he had donated $20.01. He
did. He's the leader. That's why he did it. He just wanted to be in the lead. He looked at me and goes, if I donate $500 right now, will you take a pie to the face on Thursday? And I was like, no, I want to get through the whole month, and keep pumping it up. And he was like,
you did it, you didn't hit.
Right. Yeah.
Next show, you get hit.
Oh, it was Carlos trying to get
500, you get the pie to the face.
Oh.
Every 50 afterwards, it's another one.
No. Listen here.
$500, you were taking one to the face.
Yeah, that's the way I looked at it. Was every 500.
I would look at every 500. I don't know if you guys would be. If we did 100 after that, then maybe like, you know, maybe we got 600. Well, now BK gets one. And then if we get 800, maybe Mike gets one. And if it's 1,000, then maybe Junior gets one because he
I
doesn't
could
have a
totally
camera.
get. I could totally
Yeah,
get
so
Molly
I would
to
have
give
to.
the
I
pie
would
to
have to
you.
show up at somebody's house to get that pie.
I can make that happen.
There it is. There it is. So yes, if once we hit $500, I will take a pie to the face. Do it for the kids. All right, let's start off
Yeah.
with what are we playing? BK, I'll start with you. What you playing?
MLB The Show. I'm now at AAA Norfolk, with Norfolk Tides there with my guy. I thought like my overall is like a 63. I think I didn't play earlier today because I've been a lot of pressure washing. But like, yeah, been playing MLB The Show to try to get that done here. Play. I'll kind of keep playing that throughout the summer. Then get Death Stranding done because Biomutant comes out here in about a month. The end of May that drops. And so I want to get Death Stranding done before then, and maybe something else if I can.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Junior, what are you playing?
I've been playing a little bit of Forza Horizon and started Genshin Impact again today. But mainly I've just been playing D2, still trying to get the Titans that dub. But every day we just stray further and further from that lead.
Sorry, Junior. I did.
Yeah,
I think I sent it to you, right? Did I send you the picture?
Yeah,
And someone tweeted about warlocks beating
the
hunters, and it's like it's just from Endgame. It's Tony Stark or Infinity War, and he's like, "You're embarrassing me in front of the wizards."
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, and I just see that red banner for the Titans just at the very bottom. It's like, wow, not even going to mention the Titans.
That's tough, dude. That's tough. We hyped you up. We thought you guys would do it, and you're letting us down, Junior.
Yeah, how about if y'all lose, like you have to take a pie to the face, Junior. How
Look at
about
this. I
that?
love this. I love everybody's got to take a pie to the face. I looked at the chat. I get like Frank really wants me to take a pumpkin pie. I mean, like I'm not wasting a pumpkin pie on my face. Like that's
No,
crazy.
no.
It's not even
Have
in
some pumpkin
season.
pie this morning?
I mean, yeah, true. You know, I mean, like, man. Oh yeah, look at Carlos. I'll buy a huge pie from Costco. That's crazy. They're not even in season right now. That's crazy. And Carlos, you're playing Pokemon Shield. Hell yeah, you are, baby. Hell yeah, you are. David, what have you been playing?
I have been playing MLB The Show. I've been enjoying it. I've been playing a mixture of both, right? I like Diamond Dynasty, and then I also like playing Road to the Show. I'm still down in AA, but man, I'm batting like fucking 400, and that's $5. But it's okay because I still had $5 from last show. So, and then Diamond Dynasty. Yeah, I've been enjoying that. I got screwed on a game. I'm not gonna say it cost me, but I hit like a pop-up and it was in the crowd, right? And this thing curved into the catcher's mitt. I watched the replay and I was like, so you know what I mean? Yeah, I was like, I mean, it's not like I'm not gonna say I was gonna get a hit, but you know, screwed my chances of getting a hit to score a run. So I was upset with that, and I was like, I kept watching the replay, and I was like, really, and then I went back to Road to the Show after that. So because I had to play for the All-Star card of Hudson Street. You need to beat the San Diego Padres on All-Star mode, and you know when you have to face Tahis and the whole team basically, they're gonna bomb you on All-Star mode, and I had it to a 1-1 game going all the way to like the end of the game. Man, it's nice, it's fun, but it gets frustrated at times, especially like something like that happening. You're like, and then I went to the Road to the Show, and I played like on lower modes in Road to the Show because I'm just like chilling and want to relax and just, you know,
I just want to get to the big leagues, bro.
Just want to get to the big leagues and crank homers and have like 25 game hitting streaks, which my player currently is on. So
there it is.
Just rack hits. So, but I also play on a lower mode. I'm sure if I turned it up, I'd get crushed.
Demolished.
Yeah, pitching has always been my strong suit because I love the meter. I'm always great at pitching, but when it comes to the hitting, man, I'm rough on it still.
I'm a meter man myself.
Oh,
Yeah, the
that's
meter
so
is-
interesting.
That's old school. That's old school. The show. That's why I like it.
That is so interesting. Yeah, I use the Pulse one. That's what I use. I found that to help me. It also depends on like the time of the day and how tired I am. Then I switch it up as well. I can't do the pulse when I'm super tired because it's like I'm like focused so much that I can't do that. But what I've been playing is MLB The Show. I was called up to Bull Durham last night out there in the Tampa organization. Excited. Pretty dope. Finally, it was so crazy because like it just happened like right before the start of the season. It wasn't anything like mid-season. They called me up. I was like, all right, well, you guys can kick rocks. Like I was out here batting over 400, and you guys just kept me down there. I'm making all the All-Star games in AA. Just keep me down. It's rough, rough, not
At this
rough.
point, I want to. Hopefully, there's some AA playoffs because I made the All Star game too. My team's in the first division.
There is AA playoffs. We won a championship that one year. It was pretty cool. I hit a walk off. I was pretty excited about it.
Ooh.
Yep, pretty sweet. Down there with the Montgomery Biscuits. You already know. Also, Xbox was so kind after hearing me last week complain, gripe, maybe a different word that I can't use live on stream, about the fact that I'm like, man, I haven't gotten an iOS like message of an invite to try Game Pass on iOS and on PC web browsers or on web browsers in general yet. And I got one, so that was really cool. So I've been playing a little bit of that on my iPhone. I got a brand new Xbox One Series X controller. I think I can grab it real quick.
I'm gonna chime in right now. Do either of you guys have an Apple iWatch?
No, I used to.
BK?
Oh,
BK, do you have the latest firmware update? The latest 14.5 has it to where if you're wearing a mask and you have your iWatch on, your phone will unlock now. Because you know the face screen?
I haven't
Updated?
since I started growing out the beard. I haven't retaken the Apple thing to recognize me, so I've just been putting in my passcode ever since I started growing out the beard.
I found that out yesterday when I went to my doctor. He's like, "Cool." And I was like, "All right, I'm gonna update it." So I updated it now. Now when I look at my phone, my watch just vibrates and says your phone is unlocked now. You have to be like in like a certain area, like a range, and it unlocks your phone automatically. So I'm enjoying that now because you always wear your mask here in public. So
I know Carlos was having a hard time with it the other day after he did the update. He was having a little bit of an issue. I know that. He's told me at work.
Mine worked right away. It didn't do anything. Well, maybe there's a patch since then because I only did it yesterday.
So like I said, I got a new controller. There it is. It's the Electric Volt Xbox Series X controller because BK sent me the link. I jumped on it super quick. Xbox sent it. I got it in like a day.
I was gonna say like you just bought that.
I did, and like I have not used any of these new Xbox controllers yet, and boy, does it feel very good. Yeah, the texture and everything. Yeah, very nice. And on the triggers and everything, it's actually really, really cool. So I was playing a little bit of Game Pass on the iPhone with it, and you know, it's okay. I think it's got some bugs. I think there's a slight delay, at least when I was playing MLB The Show. Also, it reaffirmed very much so that I need an iPad. That's what it reaffirmed. I know my phone screen, like my phone screen is large. But boy, does it not work well like when you're playing certain games on there because it's still small. But yeah, you can use it on your iPad as long as you get the invite from Xbox in your email. You can do that. Pull it up in the browser and you can play Game Pass on there, and it's really cool. So I highly recommend it. It's gonna have bugs, but other than that, that's all right. I said I played The Show, got called up. Of course, I still do that. But I also jumped on Fortnite because Neymar Jr. skin was free for people that had a battle pass. You just had to go in there and do the challenge. Of course, I did that to get the Neymar skin. Pretty sweet. Did all the challenges in like about 5 to 10 minutes. Got that done. Boom. Got the Neymar skin. And now I don't have to log into Fortnite until something else cool comes out. So that's really cool too. But I did play a solo and I got a dub. So that was pretty sweet. Yeah, some 12-year-old tried to build all over me. Didn't know I had a rocket launcher. He didn't know. Found out though. After round and found out, you know what I'm saying?
You're gonna learn today.
He learned. That kid learned. Kid learned real quick when Mr. Chief Nasty brought the rocket launcher right there. He remembered. He now he knows. Now he knows who I am. So that's what I've been playing. That's been pretty cool. So let's get into the news. First, Warzone did an event where they blew it up, blew everything, like a nuke went off, and they said they will never return to the original map again. So after the nuke went off, it changed the map and everything. I think it's like 1980 something, right? And that was called
1984, if I'm not mistaken.
There it is. Verdansk. That's Verdansk, sure. You know what I'm saying? So the PS5 and an Xbox Series X version of Warzone is in the works. We should be getting that later this year. David, have you jumped in at all to the newer maps?
I played it a couple games like the first day. I haven't really been into Warzone that much lately. It's still heavy meta driven and many cheaters still. So I've just been enjoying myself on the show, and I'm just gonna keep doing that.
Oh, yeah. Also, got a crack one there. There we go. Just a bottle, but BK wanted an emotional drunk ride on the show, so like I'll give my best. I was just they didn't trade the pick.
They didn't. Pick is in.
Ooh, that's
So
so.
it's either A, they're taking what the Packers want,
Exactly.
they're working out a trade,
which could be a QB.
or I think they're doing a quarterback regardless. I don't know, but they just traded for Teddy, so I don't know if they're doing a quarterback then.
They're not even paying half a Teddy's salary.
Yeah.
I think they're paying like a third. What, like a third of it, essentially.
I think so.
And the Bears should just did that for a 6th round. Geez.
Sheesh. Hades wins Game of the Year at the Dice Awards. That was really cool. We talked about that during our Game of the Year stuff. That like BK had mentioned, he played it. It just wasn't his style. But he understood. I think you said you understood why people liked it so much. If that's the thing they're into.
Yeah, and I mean the art style behind it, and I like the whole Greek mythos of it, the Greek mythology of it. I really like that, and that's really cool. I've heard, we'll get into it later, but Returnal is also like roguelike, so I know I will not like that, and I'm glad I found that out. I'm not gonna spend money on it.
Yeah, there you go. Especially because it doesn't have saves and stuff, so you could be on a long run and then just lose it all. Tough times. Star Wars: The Old Republic remake is supposedly in the works. I hope so. I really do. I hope they get Star Wars: Old Republic again. That would be super sweet. See, it throws me off. It throws me off so much because I'm like, damn, whose TV's turned all the way up? But I realize it's just David playing.
They didn't go quarterback.
Did you just curse? Did you say Beaver Dam? That was my way. Like, I think you didn't put the beaver in front of it.
Oh, I could say damn. I'm not going to call myself that bad.
Say that.
All right. I'm just not dropping F-bombs.
I didn't know the rules here. Okay. Well,
You're allowed to say it on TV like one episode, like you're allowed to say like that one word, one episode.
There it is.
That's the one word for the one episode. Now you can't do it again though. You only do it.
Darn, dude. Darn.
Something.
It's kind of like with the PG-13 movies, you get one F-bomb.
Well, we already hit that one, and I already have my $5 in there, so we already covered that.
Fantastic. Cyberpunk sold 13.7 million copies in 21 days, and The Witcher 3 surpassed 30 million copies sold. People still buying Cyberpunk. I haven't played it yet.
I got to get back into that. I haven't really played it much since.
I haven't booted it up. Still gonna be waiting.
Samesies.
Not gonna lie, this Denver pick looks like it's more for them than trading it to anybody.
Sure does, right? Patrick Surtain.
Oh yeah, Patrick Surtain.
Wow. Unless you're thinking the Packers are keeping their quarterback from last year that they drafted first round, and they're going corner help for their team. Or I don't know.
Good.
Still possible. I don't know.
I don't know. Now we talked to Destiny a little bit last week with you, Junior. Now this week there was a little bit more about the transmog system that's being worked on and how they're changing it up. Do you know anything about that?
So pretty much like I was just looking at a couple of articles here and there. The system that's going to be implemented is that there's going to be like a certain material that you have to collect in order to try to change your equipment. But the whole deal is that it's not just going to be like you collect the amount and then you change it. It's going to be the way you collect 10, I think, of like the threads. You take those threads, you turn them into an NPC, and then they give you like some sort of mission or something to go get the actual material that you need, which is good and all. I mean, that's what kind of falls in the guidelines of what everybody expected. But the problem is, and the reason why they're facing so much criticism, is that you're only allowed to do it about 3 times per month. So you could only change 3 pieces of equipment per month. Whereas everybody thought it's like, okay, collect the materials and then just change your equipment, because all it boils down to is cosmetic. It's not changing any of the properties. It's not changing any of the stats or anything like that. So the fact that they're putting a limit on it is like, what the F? Like why? But that's the way Bungie is. They want to, put the knife in and twist it a little bit before everybody's happy.
There it is. There it is.
I mean,
Yeah,
what
it's
Junior
tough.
says that sounds pretty
Pretty
definitely
dumb.
sounds pretty
Yeah, but I mean, but the thing is, like a lot of like changes that they've made like that before in the past, like within a week or two, they've changed it to something that's like acceptable. So we'll see how it turns out.
We will indeed. I just saw, yeah, they're up in arms about it. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
oof, that sounds tough. A little bit better news here. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity has shipped 3.7 million units as of the end of March. This is Koei Tecmo's best-selling Muso game of all time. Pretty sweet, dude. Pretty sweet. Also, free seasonal events for Animal Crossing update that is from yesterday's update of the 28th. There's some of the events that we had last year, right? There's the wedding themed one. There's a couple of other ones, but they added some new things to it. Mike in the chat says, Monster Hunter Mike. Hi, my name's Junior Guadalupe Esquivel. Hot topic question. Does Born have credits? I've never seen the video to the end.
The what?
Does porn have credits? I've never seen a video to the end. That is what Mike said.
Oh,
Luke
porn.
game
I
that
heard
was
This is Jewish
porn.
game,
make it to the
so
credits.
Yeah, I mean, hey, let me tell you something, Mike. I want you, since you're at work, why don't you focus on that? All right.
yeah.
He's probably
Yeah.
off, but
Oh.
since I'm not able to pick him up, he's waiting for his Uber.
Oh, never mind, Mike. Do what you gotta do, buddy. Appreciate you.
That's my assumption right now.
Appreciate you. But yeah, free seasonal events for Animal Crossing. There it is. Games releasing in the month of May, though. We do have a few of them. These are just some of the noteworthy ones that I thought. May 2nd, Dragon Quest Builders 2 comes to Xbox Game Pass. May 7th, Resident Evil Village. That's for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and the PC. May 14th, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC. That's going to be pretty cool. May 18th, Days Gone gets their PC release. Don't expect a second game. May 21st, Rust is coming to Xbox One and PS4. And May 25th, BK alluded to it earlier, Biomutant comes out for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Lot of our Fantasy League thrown in there. We'll get to those scores later where we're at right now, but we got a lot of them, including also for April 30th, new Pokemon Snap comes out tomorrow. So check it out. That's the first thing I'm doing after work, getting Pokemon Snap.
Yeah,
Will we have your review next
update.
week?
I will be able to review part of it next week. Will I be playing it during our Mortal Kombat review? High possibility.
Eagles
Nice.
have traded, swap picks with Dallas. They moved ahead of the Giants. I'm pretty sure they're gonna pick up Smith
Okay.
here. That's my accept.
What a weird thing that Dallas would trade with the Eagles within the own division for them to get better.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I think Smith was either gonna go to the Giants or go to Philly.
Huh. That is really weird. All right.
It's
moving-
weird, but you know what? Hey, they got an extra draft pick and they only want back 2 slots, so we'll see.
That's a good point.
It is weird.
It is.
It's also weird having 3 people in the same division take 3 in a row.
When your division's that bad, that is what occurs. PlayStation State of Play was today. It showed about 15 minutes of the new Ratchet and Clank, A Rift in Time, or Rift Apart, sorry. And that looked absolutely fantastic. Game of the year worthy Ratchet and Clank. There's no doubt in my mind it's going to be up there. I know people are already starting to talk about Returnal possibly being at that level. But man, just the way that they really execute that solid state drive for the PlayStation 5, their worlds look so beautiful. I mean, the one clip we saw where he's just standing on like the little pad and he hits it with a hammer and the world instantly changes. It's just, that is a level of speed that we're not used to. So that looks really cool. We got the new character's name. Her name is Rivet. That's going to be awesome. I'm so excited.
She's cool.
She is. She's super cool. She built her own robot arm and stuff. Out here looking
Right.
like Bucky, the Winter Soldier. Pretty cool, dude.
Which
Love
was
it.
awesome.
Who doesn't like a girl with piercings too? You know, she's a little badass there. She's got a little punk side to her.
Mhm.
Probably gives Mike a huge boner.
Oh,
Side note. Are we doing a Falcon and the Winter Soldier recap review?
I think
we did,
so.
Wanda?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm down. I just have to watch the last episode and then we can do one next week.
There it is.
It's cool. It's cool.
There it is. I didn't know anybody was watching it. There it is. All right, cool. I watched it. It was really good. But they also announced Subnautica Below Zero that arrives on PS4 and PS5 May 14th. And then Among Us is coming to PS4 and PS5 with crossplay and all that good stuff later this year. They also, PlayStation players on there can get a special Ratchet hat, a little Clank pet, all this cool stuff that goes with Among Us on the PlayStation. So that would be really cool as well. This state of play was definitely just designed. They did say that just designed to really show off Ratchet and Clank before their June release, and it did, and it was really good. I'm actually really excited about it. Let's get to the numbers of PlayStation then next. The PS5 has sold 7.8 million units as of March 31st of this year worldwide. The PS4 sold 7.6 million in the same amount of time, making the PS5 the fastest, most successful selling console of all time when it comes to the time span of when it was launched, right? Not total units sold right now, obviously, but from when it came out, it is the greatest selling console of all time. 338.9 million games were sold on both consoles through the fiscal year ending in March. 65%, or 220 million, were digital, up from 53% the previous year. I think that has a lot to do with the direction of where video games are going, but also pandemic as well. 17.
And then also, it's not even released in China yet, right? Isn't that released next in May?
Yeah,
China?
in May.
So that's not even released yet, and probably another huge market for them.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's nice. That's great numbers.
Oh, it is 100%. 17%, or 58.4 million of total game sales were first party games. PlayStation Plus subscribers sit at 47.6 million, which is up from 41.5 million the previous year. Their monthly active users for the PlayStation Network did fall, though, to 109 million from 114 million the previous year. Sony CFO Hiroki Totoki said they plan to increase their investment into first-party games this year by $183 million over the previous year's budget. And Sony's game and network service had $3.15 billion in operating profit. PlayStation's doing well. That's what I got out of it. PlayStation still doing well.
Yeah, they're still the long dong on the totem pole.
They sure are. That was a great point too. Yeah, with China, I mean, they haven't even come out yet. That's going to make these numbers even more impressive. But I'm really interested, because when we get to the Microsoft numbers, right, they are having one of their best years ever too when it comes to consoles. So I want to know what that exact number is, and where that's at right now. Obviously, both companies are struggling, as well as Nintendo, because of the chip shortage that we've talked about so many times, and it's still a persistent thing in the industry right now. Also, the outline for the next Last of Us is done, according to Neil Druckmann and Haley Gross, but it's not being made yet. Cool.
Hopefully it's better than the second.
Yeah. I watched all the cutscenes, so I know how it went, but
That's right. We're saving that for the Patreon exclusive.
There it is. People, you want that? You're gonna sub $10 a month, baby. If you want me to. All right. Oh, there it is. There's one. I didn't finish it, but I knew it was coming. So I'll add that to my list over there. That's now 3. That's $15 I'm up to. That is hopefully, if you want me to talk about Last of Us 2, you're gonna have to. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to up it up a little bit. All right. Because I don't want to talk about it. I just don't. It was so sad right from the beginning. I just don't want to talk about it. So sad. Let's see what else we got here. Nier creator Yoko Taro says he signed on as a creative director for a new, promisingly weird game for Square Enix. And I put in the notes because I know as soon as we talk about Nier, Mike, Monster Hunter Mike, Big Papa effing Sunshine himself, has a rock hard thing going on down below. Let me tell you that, yeah, he's like, ooh, yeah, he heard weird and everything. He's into it. He is into it. So, Mike, that's for you. Hopefully, you get pretty excited about that. Now, tomorrow night, we will be recording our Mortal Kombat review, and it'll be posted up over the weekend for you guys to listen to. But I do want to talk about it a little bit on today's show. Mortal Kombat Fatalities. The weekend box office earning 22.5 million. Demon Slayer comes in second at 19.5 million, helping secure the biggest box office weekend since the coronavirus pandemic began, which is great. Love to see everybody going back to the movie theaters and being safe.
Ryan, I really need to cut you off.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, the Bears traded. The Bears traded up.
Bears just traded 11th pick. So now who is it? What quarterback is it going?
It's gotta be a quarterback. Is it Fields or Mac Jones? Is it Fields or Mac Jones?
I had to cut you off, Ryan, because the Bears traded up.
Oh my God. Jeez, I don't know. I'm gonna keep
for that trade.
Oh man. Whew. Okay. All right, I'm gonna keep going until it goes.
What they traded for, though. I gotta see what they traded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to. Wow.
I haven't seen that pop across yet. Keep going, Ryan. We'll update you.
All right, thank you. Mortal Kombat. So it's the most successful Mortal Kombat and Demon Slayer combined for us to have the most successful box office weekend since the coronavirus pandemic began. As I was saying, that's awesome. I love to see everybody going back to the movie theaters. Support your local theaters. They're great, right? I'm glad they're opening up. The Oscars had that video with Matthew McConaughey and Ryan Reynolds and all these other actors and actresses talking about going back to the theaters and showing all the movie theater workers and stuff, and it got me right here, in the heart because I was so excited. A big fan of the movie theaters, so glad to see that. Mortal Kombat earned an additional 17.6 million overseas to bring its total to 50.1 million. Demon Slayer already was Japan's highest grossing movie of all time, now sits at 407.7 million. Zilla vs. Kong has now surpassed 400 million worldwide after its fourth weekend in theaters. So, like I said, we're going to talk more about Mortal Kombat tomorrow in depth on the review. But it's just great to see these numbers coming in, that people are going back out to the theaters. That was my biggest thing with all of this. And excited. Mortal Kombat. Probably, honestly, as I sit right now, I will say the best video game adaptation, movie adaptation of all time, probably. It's not hard to do that because they're all so bad. But
yeah, it's got to be up there. And the first Resident Evil movie is not bad. The first Resident Evil.
The first one, yeah.
It was terrifying. Absolutely scary. Oh.
Ooh,
Also, Weebisode boys, when do we get the Demon Slayer Mugen Train review? The people got to know.
So Sunday, I didn't even tell Junior this yet or Mike, so there you go. Here's your notice. Sunday, because I know we don't do anything. I know ain't nobody busy. At some point Sunday, we will sit down and we will do a Weebisode. We've got other things I want to talk about too, but Demon Slayer Mugen Train is definitely going to be reviewed at the big part of that show. It'll be a little bit different. Like, it's not going to be, a breakdown of each character and stuff like that, like how we do. I think it's just going to be us talking about the movie in general and like what we thought about it and where we think Demon Slayer goes next. So stay tuned for that as well. Good plug there. Good plug, because I would have forgot about it. Good plug. So also to point out too, with the movie theater doing so well that weekend with those movies, Junior was also able to partake in going to the movie theater as well. Guadalupe, hats off to you. Hats off to you, man.
Yeah.
Way to go out there. Way to be a part of society this week, past weekend. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
I picked him up and I thought I was bringing a homeless man into my car. Yeah. I was like, I don't know. I'm like, am I letting a homeless man get in the back of my car right now with Mike? Like, this is crazy. But it was cool, dude. It was cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good thing Mike was there to vouch for me. He's like, yeah, I know this guy, unfortunately.
Oh, the pick is in.
The pick is in.
All right, everybody. If you're watching live,
He's trying to steal it himself right now. He's trying to stay calm.
if you're watching live, we have the NFL draft going right now, and the Bears traded up to pick 11 from 20. Obviously, I'm assuming they got rid of the 20, which they did. They did trade the 20th pick. That was a part of it. So the Chicago Bears are making the 11th pick. Their first round pick in a couple years. Roquan Smith was the past one.
We're not going to have one next year because we traded it.
Oh, yeah, probably.
We did.
Oh, we did?
Next year's first round.
How many picks did y'all trade?
Just this year's 20th and first round next year.
Okay.
It's still high.
Yeah, the jump 9 spots. I get it.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's jumping quite a bit of spots to go grab one of the other top tier QBs left. So.
Of course, they had to do like a talking about somebody else right now.
Yeah, as I say, Mike, he's got a lot of cards just to make a pick. Man.
The one time that we're like, we're ready, and then he has to
Alright,
schedule
yeah,
this.
and then Goodell's just like going on a long diatribe about like his Pilates workout that he does like before draft night or something.
I tried to text my dad.
There we
Like,
go.
I'm so scared.
Nope.
Let's see.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
I see it.
he's
I
ready
see
to
it.
pick.
I'm waiting for Ryan to see it, but
I
I
haven't
see
seen
it.
it yet.
I haven't seen
Hurry
it.
up.
Oh man, I am nervous here on Jay Cutler's birthday. The big deal. The
The guy
Chicago
with the worst
Bears.
internet, like who knows what's happening already. The guy with the worst internet. Come on.
Justin Fields.
Yes! 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 All right, bear down, baby. Yes, Justin Fields. Oh my God. Woo! All right, I am happy. Awesome. Fantastic. Justin Fields is a Chicago Bear. That's so crazy. I can show you here live on my phone earlier. I saved this picture of Justin Fields in a Bears uniform. I brought it into just I brought it. Frank, no Jay Cutler slander, bro. All right, don't call him garbage. That's the GOAT. He's got a great farm. He's got a great farm, damn it. Does. Man, oh man, I'm hyped. All right, let's get back to the show here. Sorry, everybody. Outriders Dev opens a new studio in Chicago. They now have 320 plus employees worldwide. Awesome. Great to see studio succeeding. Remember, they put their game on Game Pass. We talked about last week. It's still the top selling game on Xbox. Now I'm sure the show's probably ahead of it, but last week it was Outriders, so there you go. Tim Sweeney, I wrote Time Sweeney, that's not correct. Tim Sweeney from Epic Games has donated 75 acres in North Carolina for conservation. That is in Roan Highlands. Do you know where that is, BK?
No, I actually like looked it up. It's about like I think it was like five-ish hours from like where I live. It's like it's near the North Carolina Tennessee border. Like it's like the complete opposite end of the state that we are. Because like I'm the eastern part, very much like the coast, and that's just way out there.
Hell yeah, man! I am like getting a bunch of texts. I'm so excited. This is great. I'm a happy Bears fan today. Now let's get to the Microsoft numbers. I promised those earlier, so let's jump into them. Demand higher than the supply for the Xbox Series X/S consoles. Obviously, I don't know. Don't know why that was a surprise. Thanks for putting that in there, everybody. We were aware of it. Like as soon as I saw that in their notes or in the Microsoft's like rundown, I was like, okay, thank you. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Hardware revenue has grown by a huge, massive 232% thanks to the next-gen consoles and services. Xbox content and service revenue also increased $739 million compared to the same quarter last year. Microsoft overall gaming revenue for the quarter ending in March is up $1.2 billion, or 50% year over year. They expect constraints on supply for consoles to last until at least June. Yeah, I again, kind of figured that. Minecraft's monthly active user is now at 140 million. That's up 30% year over year. Microsoft is lowering its percentage taken on sales in the Microsoft Store. That was announced today on PC games to 12%, down from 30%. This does not apply to console games, just PC games. This is exactly, it puts Microsoft more in line with Epic and leaves Valve's 30% take on Steam at sales as excessive. Yes, 100%. This was Xbox's way of trying to make you also be more favorable to buy your games on Xbox on PC as well. BK, I'll start with you. Your thoughts here on Xbox having great numbers.
It's not shocking. I think we started really seeing this trend last year with like the pandemic, and it seemed like people that had kind of gotten out of console gaming started like coming back in, and they're buying into the ecosystems of whether it be Xbox Live, Game Pass, or PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Now. You're seeing all those numbers increase like a lot. I mean, in Nintendo, like we talked about last week with the Switch sales, like on track, doing very, very well. I'm not shocked, and it's as an Xbox gamer, definitely very happy, and also just happy that they're really stepping up once again into the PC space. Excuse me, we've seen that here the past, I'd say probably about 2 or 3 years. They're really not necessarily doubling down, but actually trying to do PC gaming like correctly. And so in doing the whole cut down to 12%, they still need to work on the interface and the store and all that for Microsoft, the Microsoft Store itself. But it's a step in the right direction, and I'm all for it.
David, what's your thoughts here on now? Microsoft also showing they've had a really successful quarter and year over year as well, just like PlayStation.
I mean, we all talk about this chip shortage, but like both of them are showing huge numbers, so it makes it look like it's non-existent, right? So like everyone keeps talking about the chip shortage, like the numbers don't show that. Numbers don't reflect that. They're still having monster years than they've had in the past, both of them. So it's great to see. Hopefully it continues. Um, I personally still prefer my Xbox over my PlayStation. But hey, it's great news for both because if both are successful, then that means the competition stays high.
100%. Junior, your thoughts?
No, I mean, I agree with BK. It's a good thing that they're trying to make a push towards the PC market. They've always kind of been in it, especially with gaming and everything. How they're, I kind of do want to say they are doubling down on it because a lot of the games that are coming out, the specs on it are all for like next gen, even
Good
though
point.
the next out, they're already being, made for the next gen after that. And typically a PC is able to run it a whole lot better than what a console can do it. And the good thing too, because a lot of PCs nowadays are a lot more affordable than they were before. I mean, if you want like a high-end PC, yeah, you are probably gonna have to pay out the butt for it. But you could get a moderately decent, PC for like about $500, that could run most games. So I think it's a good thing that they're, going towards that route.
It's a great point. Great point. Yeah, like I said, it's just great that Microsoft's showing that they're doing very well. PlayStation's doing very well. Overall, man, it's a great time to be a video game fan, be a gamer. It is absolutely fantastic. You're getting quality content on both those main consoles. You're getting great content on the Nintendo Switch, and you're also getting really good content and value on your computer games or your PC stuff as well. With Game Pass now being on here and on browsers, it makes it even better. And on your phones too. Honestly, it's a great time. It's a great time right now to be a gamer. Halo Infinite will be cross-play and cross-progression between Xbox and PC. Thank the Lord. Thank you. Because some people I knew more than likely, right? They got Game Pass on their computer. They were going to play Halo Infinite on their computer. And I was like, I want to play with all the homies. And now I should be able to, because I fingers crossed, I will have an Xbox by the time Halo Infinite launches anyway. So, but yeah, awesome. Good stuff. I'm glad they took that route. Should see more of that from Xbox first party games moving forward. There are rumors all over the place, man. It feels like every day BK sends me something else that just like is really pushing these even further. That Starfield is releasing later this year and it will be exclusive to Xbox. Remember, Xbox purchased Bethesda at the beginning of this year, and Starfield is a Bethesda game. Mr. Maddie Plays first teased this months ago. That is very, very true. BK, where are you at here on the Starfield coming out this year and being exclusive to Xbox?
I listen to Mr. Matty Plays like sometimes on YouTube, and then I think it's the Defying Duke podcast. I think that's the name of it. It's on the Collins Last Stand network, and he talked about this a while ago, and kind of just took it with like a grain of salt. Not saying that he's lying, but like when you only hear one inside source saying it, you kind of just like, all right, maybe. But then you start hearing all the other people like on Twitter, like, okay, like this is actually like what I'm hearing too. And so it's like, oh, okay, there could be some truth to this. So, and it does make sense. And so some people, listeners out there may be thinking like, well, Brendan, Sony was in talks to get that exclusive, or why would it be exclusive to the Xbox console? Well, because Microsoft bought Bethesda before those exclusivity talks could come to fruition. That's why Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop are still going to have the timed exclusivity window. But Microsoft came in there, purchased Bethesda, so they essentially couldn't do the Starfield. And guess what? Now they can. So I do think it's going to happen. And that would be a huge get. And also because, honestly, a lot of us, just because Bethesda really likes to take their time, I don't think any of us thought this was coming out this year. No. I mean, none of us drafted it. I picked it up Starfield the other day. I didn't text you about this until after I knew I could pick it up in the fantasy thing, by the way. It's like I had actually known for a few days. And I just didn't say anything. I had to make sure my pickup went through.
Typical Ravens fan, man. Typical Ravens fan.
I would agree with that.
Hey, Play smarter, not
It's
harder.
called cheating, is what it is.
It's called cheating. He's got inside sources, man. He's got inside sources. Yeah, this is gonna be. Listen again. The whole idea that Xbox isn't gonna have exclusives from Bethesda just seems dumb. That you don't pay $7 billion. We've said that so many times. I remember David also saying like you don't spend $7 billion on an acquisition of a company if you're not gonna make those games exclusive. So if we get Starfield this year, boss, I'm excited. I don't even know what the game is because we haven't even seen anything on it.
Space.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all.
That's all I know.
Space.
Space it is. Watch it be like a scary game and BK can't play it.
I will. Yeah, I'll have to back out real quick. I'm like, sorry, guys. Sorry. I was at that point.
More rumors of Forza Horizon skipping ahead of Forza Motorsports in the rotation, releasing later this year and taking place in Mexico. Junior, you talked about playing Forza. Are you more of a Horizon or Motorsports guy?
Horizon, all the
yeah.
way. Like I've tried playing the Forza Motorsports franchise, and I get that it's supposed to be a realistic, driving experience, but I on a controller it just does not translate. I would have to try to use it on the steering wheel with the brakes and the gas pedal.
Mm-hmm.
But on a controller, to me, it just doesn't translate right. And it's like, you know what? I just want to have fun. I don't want to go on a Sunday, drive.
David, are you
I
more
get
of a Horizon or a Motorsports guy?
I prefer both. I don't know. It depends. It's usually when I'm in a mood for racing. And to be honest, when I'm in a mood for racing, I play neither of them because I usually play the Formula One game. So I'm a Formula One person.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, I prefer the F1. And then like if they're on the Game Pass too, so I think like 2020 is on the Game Pass, so that's the one I've been playing.
Oh yeah, yep.
Having fun with that.
Very nice.
Does it have online?
I believe it does have online. I don't really choose. I just mess around. It's usually just to chill, just a race. They have a nice career mode though. I did that. That's fun with it.
Ooh, that's always good. I do dig that. I used to like that in the NASCAR games back in the day.
NASCAR.
Yeah, NASCAR. BK, do you play any of the Forzas, and which do you prefer?
I prefer Forza Horizon. Hold on, let me see if I can actually get my Forza Horizon Steelbook out here. The most recent one.
Ooh, look at you.
There we go. Look at that. That's the most recent one I got. I got the Steelbook. So I really enjoy the Forza one. This is the most recent one, so it takes place in England. It goes into Scotland there a little bit. It's a lot of fun. I played the crap out of it when it first came out. Almost got like all the little like extra like XP boost signs and all that stuff. I just like how it's like you said, it's like a casual kind of experience. It's not a like hardcore. It's like great for me because I just pop in the podcast or like listen to podcasts and just kind of just go do my thing.
100%. Gambling odds have rolled out for Madden 2020, Madden 22 cover athlete. Rodgers right now, Aaron Rodgers sits as the favorite at 11-2 odds. Derrick Henry 6-1 odds. Travis Kelce and Aaron Donald are coming in tied at 15-2 odds. Now, what would be? I want to point this out. Okay, the last time a Packer was a cover athlete of Madden was Brett Favre. They had to create two covers. Do you know why? That same year he was elected as the Packers, he went to the Jets. Could the same thing happen this year? Could Aaron Rodgers' cover be named that got him ready, and then he's traded and he'll be wearing a different uniform? That we'll find out on Sports Talk Tuesday. But just want to throw that out there in case anybody's curious. Aaron Rodgers could be see what happens. Pokemon Go Fest is set for July 17th to the 18th. With it being the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, you got to expect some cool stuff this year. So as soon as I can get let you be a part of Pokemon Go, I think you probably have to pay for a ticket or whatever it is on the app again. I will do it, and I will go out and play Pokemon Go Fest because it is the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, and any chance I get to do Pokemon-related things, I do that, including new Pokemon Snap tomorrow, everybody. I'm so excited. If I didn't have to work early in the morning, I might have stayed up and bought it right away and started playing it. Might have done it. But I didn't. Google has added, it's so crazy. So Google, we all know Google. Google's a search company. Google's the thing you search everything, anything, like what's that lump down there? Like what?
It's a verb.
Yeah.
It became a verb. It's like, oh, Google that.
Like, why am I coughing? And then the first thing's like COVID. You know what I mean? Like, you Google, you search everything. Yeah, you don't say I'm searching something. You say I Googled something. That's exactly correct. You are 100% correct. Well, fun fact, they have a gaming program called Stadia. You might remember that still. And it didn't have a search engine until now. Google has added a search bar to the Stadia store. It took Google, the search company, 17 months to add a search bar to their cloud gaming service. There's never been a bigger own goal in the history of gaming than this. Yeah, it is awful. Like, that is some of the worst. I am just not happy.
That is doo-doo.
It's awful. At least Amazon Luna had a search bar.
Well, so, man, I feel like Amazon Luna like came out like we talked about it, but then like that I feel like that actually died out quicker than Stadia. I mean, like I haven't seen anything anywhere about Luna since it's dropped. At least like Stadia like had like baby legs for like a week or two.
Yeah.
But Luna's just like tanked.
It's awful. It's terrible. I'm not happy with that. That's really bad. I never noticed it didn't have a search bar until I read that. I was like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. It's not good. Not good at all. Blizzard has extended CEO Bobby Kotick's employment agreement. So basically, add some more time to his employment. Daniel Pardis from GameIndustry.biz reported that he will take a 50% reduced base salary, and it is voluntary to align with the company's target. He also agreed to a 50% reduce to his annual bonus. However, he is still eligible to earn up to 200% of his reduced base salary due to exceptional factors that were detailed in the extension. Under Kotick's leadership, Activision Blizzard market capitalization has increased from less than $10 million to over $70 billion, with an 8,100% increase in shareholders' return from 2000 to 2020. In the terms for everybody, that means they made a boatload of money. They have done extremely well.
Well, they've done really well in the competitive gaming space, and just World of Warcraft's pretty successful.
Call of Duty.
Yeah. Well, that's not Blizzard though. So.
Well, Activision Blizzard, right?
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard. Yeah. Yep. Things like what's crazy to me to think about is the fact that they're making so much money, yet they're cutting so many employees, and then
is.
Giving so many pay raises to people that pretty much don't need them. Yeah. Like now we see where all that money is going to.
100%.
Baby.
100%. Ooh, good pick by the Chargers. Thought he was going to be a Bear, but Bears had other real. Rashawn Slater of Northwestern. Yeah, thought he was going to be a Bear, but
okay.
We had other plans.
Well, I used to draft a QB here.
Ooh. The Vikings could. Oh, it could be Mac Jones. Still out there.
If not, I think he's going next pick for the Patriots. He's going to these next two picks. I would assume so, but I don't know what New England's thinking.
Or does Pittsburgh make a trade with Minnesota?
Oh,
that would be crazy.
We'll see.
Let's do a fantasy gaming update here. Nier finishes at an 83, which gets David 13 points to raise his total score to 60. Returnal currently sits at 86, awaiting to be finalized. And my beloved new Pokemon Snap sits at an 81, waiting to be finalized as well. So pretty excited about that. I always am so curious on how these work, because I'm like, I see a lot of 9s and a lot of 8s for most of these games. So I'm like, where do all the other reviews come from? I am curious. It's the same thing with Metacritic, when I see the Metacritic scores, and I'm like, I feel like they should have been higher, but it's all right. It's cool. It's good. It's fine. Now let's talk a little bit about a couple of topics here. We're going to dive deep into more, including there was leaked documents showing that EA is actively pushing players towards spending money on microtransactions. This was a 54-page document leaked by Canadian Broadcast Corporation, the CBC. We'll talk about this a little bit. According to the CBC, the insider felt obligated to leak the documents because he and others dislike working on video games that include loot boxes and other gambling-type elements. And then EA didn't comment right away when the story was published. So What this is about, it suggests that FIFA publishers Electronic Arts (EA) is actively pushing players to spend money on microtransactions. The document, which was provided by a leaker from EA Vancouver, appears to be a presentation that frankly discusses the importance of FIFA's microtransaction-fueled mode, FIFA Ultimate Team. However, EA disputes that it's pushing people to spend money, calling this a sensationalized story. This is from Stephen Wright at GameSpot. We are doing everything we can to drive the players there. A portion of the presentation reads. That same bullet point refers to FIFA Ultimate Team as the, quote, cornerstone of the game. Another portion of the presentation details how the game's developers use, quote, content teasers to attempt to incentivize players to spend money on Ultimate Team, summarizing that strategy as all roads lead to FUT, which is FIFA Ultimate Team. EA came back and said, nah, that's not it. We talked about microtransactions a tad bit last week. Junior brought it up when we were talking about Overwatch and stuff. And where if it's cosmetics and stuff, we kind of lean on, I like most of us lean on the side of like, it's okay, like it's not really directly affected the game. That's your choice that you want to spend money on the skin, which I will do every time. But my question here now, overall to you guys, and I want to start with you, Junior, your overall thoughts on where microtransactions are at, right? You have this EA employee, an anonymous one, saying that they don't like working on games like that because it involves loot stuff and gambling. So what's your overall thoughts here on microtransactions?
First off, I would call BS on the EA employee saying that that's, not true or whatever. It's 100% true. FIFA Ultimate is a pay-to-play game. It is a pay-to-win. Pretty much the way their system works is that everything is pretty much locked behind a loot box. You want a player with great stats, or you want a certain player. Guess what? You can't get them through in game. You have to pay for a loot box to try to get them. For a chance at getting them. And to me, that's the ultimate kick in the teeth. I mean, you want to play a game for to enjoy it, to be able to play and have fun with it. But then to start shelling out money to play it, I mean, I get that there's games subscriptions, but that's all it is, subscription. You're not paying to get like a better weapon or a better character, to try to get the upper hand on somebody, especially when it comes to PvP aspects. When it comes to PvP, you want it to be as balanced as possible to see who has the best strategy or who has, the better, reflexes or who's better at the game. You don't want to see who has the bigger wallet. To me, that's just, like I said, a kick in the teeth when games do that or when developers are doing that. And as far as like the way the system is right now, like the pay to play or pay to win or whatever, I'm not saying like all the games are doing it. I mean, Overwatch is one of the games that, it's easy to reference because pretty much all of their, loot boxes are all just purely cosmetic. It's all voice lines, it's all skins, it's all, emotes or whatever. So, like you said, if you want to pay, to get those things, those items, that's on you. But you're not paying to have, Reaper have a better shotgun or Roadhog, have a one-hit hook or something. You're just paying for him to look cool.
Right.
So to me, like I said, when EA is saying, that they're not doing that, it's completely a lie. It is a complete lie. I'm sorry. I cannot take them seriously when they say that. When they have a game that is literally pay to play or pay to win.
100%. David, your thoughts on microtransactions?
Overall, I've never been a fan of it, but almost any multiplayer game kind of has it now, right? I think anywhere. You look outside EA, even MLB The Show has it right now, right? Diamond Dynasty, buy packs. I mean, that's how you get better cards. And yeah, you could earn the coins to then buy a pack and do challenges to get the packs, right? Which is fine, but you could also just buy and put $60 in it, basically a whole nother game, and get 70 plus packs of cards and hope for the best. What's a little bit different there in the show is they have weekly challenges and moments that you can do to try to get some decent cards, which I've done. So that's not too bad. My team's not horrible, but I also don't play online because of that simple fact that I could get someone that has diamonds like around the board of all types of and they're just gonna destroy me. I can't pitch to diamond players with my gold starter, stuff like that. And then even going into like Call of Duty, there's been a lot of backlash around the Rose skin, which is an all black cosmetic character, which in the game when you have an all black character, you basically look camouflage in the corners for a lot of times. So it's like 99% of what almost all the big time streamers run is the rose skin. And the only way to unlock the rose skin was to buy her character, and then you had to do a challenge. So you originally had to buy it and then to unlock it. So there's a lot of things around that. I think there was other ways you could possibly get it without paying for it. But I know majority of people bought it, right? Bought it. And then so that's when like the cosmetics, that one right there is like, okay, that's like 100% pay to win in my opinion, because now I can't see the person in a dark corner, right? So what they kind of tried to do this season with the new map release, they brightened up the entire map. Like they turned the brightness up so you could try to see her like everywhere, like in the stairwells. It is super bright now. I think in all honesty, they just need to change it, but I don't see how they're going to do it because people bought it, right? People paid for this character. And then EA's always done that, you know, with their ultimate teams in every game. Doesn't matter. Any other EA games has basically an ultimate type team. Madden and FIFA. People get really into that. And, you know, the big time players, the streamers and stuff like that, yeah, they just have money to fork over and just buy as many packs as they want, and they'll just open them up on stream and hope for the best when it comes to cards. And
then, like, sorry to cut you off, but like even like that is that a lot of the times like these big time like pro players, I guess you could call them, you know, they're just pretty much a ton of money.
Right.
They go to all these tournaments, you know, to win, you know, these prize pools or whatever. They're not really making all that much money compared to how much money they're putting into the game, because they're not really even going to the tournament to win for bragging rights or anything. They're just going into the tournament to try to recoup what they lost.
Yeah, they put a lot of money in, but I still think overall they make more money back. If they're streaming and doing YouTube videos, they're definitely making their money back easily.
Oh, I mean, some of them are, because I know one of them are one of the guys I was listening to, you know, because they were talking about this topic like about 2 weeks ago. Is in order to have like this specifically towards FIFA Ultimate, in order to have like a pro team to like actually be able to play against, you know, professional players, you need to spend about $3,500 just to have all the necessary players to be able to play that game. And if you're going to like a small time tournament that only has a prize pool of let's say $2,000, I mean you're losing $1,500.
Right.
Yep.
That is those are good points as well. BK, how do you feel about microtransactions?
Kind of how we all feel. I remember. So this is back when I used to play like, you know, cell phone games decent, but I don't really play them anymore. I used to play Clash of Clans, who was like really big into, you know, the clan battles and all that stuff. And I was working at the Orioles, like still playing that. And then I remember I actually started going up against like some Orioles players at the time. And it super frustrated me because, you know, I'm just a low-level employee at the Orioles and I don't have a lot of money. And in that game, you can pay to win because you can pay to speed up like when your buildings get done and all this other stuff. And guess what people that are, you know, essentially millionaire athletes do? They're going to do exactly that. They're going to pay to win and beat your ass. And that's when I kind of decided, I was like, that, all right, I just won't really play games like that ever again anymore. That's just, I get why people get into them because, like, the low barrier for entry, but then, like, the whole pay to win aspect just pisses me off. Like, so, like, I choose not to give them money. And it's kind of exactly with the same thing with Ultimate Team. And one really, I was about to say a bad word. One really messed up thing with the whole PAX thing, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, but like let's literally compare it to like a baseball card pack. You get a package of baseball cards, you don't know really who's in there,
right?
But you could get the diamond in the rough. But you can also, and because I used to collect baseball cards when I was younger, my grandfather would get me the whole set from Topps that year. It would have all the cards in it. You can buy that. You can pay extra upfront to make sure you get all the other cards. I don't think you can do that with those packs. You can't pay to essentially get all the best card, like to get everything.
Right. You can buy a super big pack, but you're still running the risk.
Exactly.
It's still like a ladder or like a slot machine is how I like to think of it.
And that is the entirely misleading part of this. Like that's really messed up. There's no way to for the consumer to go like, okay, I know this way for a fact I get I'm going to get XYZ. I get all the best ones. And so that's really messed up. I think it's totally misleading. It's exactly like what you said. It's gambling. They were sued for this. And then I think they got off on a technical legality. But I know Belgium is pursuing them and trying to get their game like at least like up the rating of up from E to like more mature
Right.
for the gambling aspect because it's so ridiculous.
The only way I can see them, trying to fix anything, because I know like with gacha games, gacha is like it's pretty much a gambling game, depending on the theme or whatever. But the only way I can see them trying to fix it is if they implement the in-game currency, that you could try to get towards, buying these packs. I know there's a couple of games that have done that before in the past, where it's like if you complete a challenge or you complete the daily mission or something, you get currency towards, buying the pack or something. Call of Duty, for example, has the COD points. If you complete certain challenges or if you have, the game, the season pass, you get certain amount of COD points towards the next season or towards,
Yeah.
a skin or something. But the fact that, certain games are literally gatekeeping and, putting necessary in-game items behind a paywall, that's what's messed up to me. It's like there's no way of completing the game or progressing the game without throwing money at it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like not to. I hate that. I hate the pay to win aspect. Like
Yeah.
it just pissed me off. So I was like, all right, like, and I'm like, I said, I'm not even that very good at video games. But I'm like, all right, like this person who has like no skill and essentially is not putting in time or effort is just paying, just essentially bludgeon me. Where it's like, okay, why do I need to invest time out of my day? And I know like I'm different. I just wish other people viewed it that way, and maybe people will start viewing like. And the whole thing with sports games are crazy. They come out yearly. They come out yearly, and they don't change that much. So they're already getting buku bucks from that, and then you throw in all this Ultimate Team garbage. It's like they're making money hand over fist. It's just it's obscene. It's one of those dark sides of like video games, and it's because it's the way for companies to keep making money. I mean, think about other mediums like music or movies. They don't have out movies. Now that we have theaters again, like they have the theaters. That's where they can make. That's where they try to make the most of their money back. And then you have the at-home sales. So like streaming, buying it like a physical copy, like whatever it may be. And that's just kind of like the icing on the cake. You can make the extra leftover. Video games, you have like the $60, and then you have this gambling, and it's just it's ridiculous.
It really is. Yeah, no, I think that yeah, same thing as everybody else there. I mean, I've never been super upset when it comes to cosmetic stuff, right? It doesn't really bother me a whole ton. Like with Overwatch, I don't have a problem with that. But when it comes to things like, if you have to pay this so you can get, this player to get on your team, that's always been an issue. I think the issue of Call of Duty, the biggest thing with Call of Duty in the beginning when they started doing a battle pass system as well was if they were going to throw guns in there because onto the pay side of the battle pass, because then you're incentivizing people, they have to pay to get this certain gun, right? They tend, I think, now to go towards that being on the free side of the battle pass, if I'm not mistaken, where everybody can earn it, right, by just playing the game. So that part I think is okay, but yeah, when you start to put a paywall in there to have a better game, to be better in a game, that's where it becomes a problem. And yeah, maybe they do. They also need to up the rating on the games. I think that's a good point too. So we will see as that continues on. But EA just denying it. It's pretty rough. But what's good, and I want to end on a positive note here, is the U.S. video game industry is absolutely thriving. The NPD reported first quarter numbers for 2021. Total spending was $14.92 billion during the quarter. That is up 30% from last year's first quarter. Total spending on games rose 25% to $12.8 billion. Hardware sales are up 81%, and accessory sales are up 25%. Some of the best selling games during quarter one, and these are in alphabetical order, most best selling and most played titles, I should say, during quarter one were Among Us, Animal Crossing New Horizons, that AM Nation Pod 2020 Game of the Year, Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War, Candy Crush Saga, shout out to my supervisor, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto 5, Mario Kart 8, Minecraft, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, and Super Mario 3D World. BK, your thoughts on video games doing buku numbers in the first quarter of 2021?
Well, yeah, I may have talked about this like last week or mentioned is that it's crazy that the numbers are up. This is directly competing with last year's fiscal one, and that was the start of the pandemic when people started. I mean, I remember that's when I got my PS4 Pro, and like you couldn't buy them like anywhere. Like I got like a used one from eBay, a guy that like fixed it up. Like it's just crazy that the numbers have gone up from there. It shows you how healthy it is, and because I don't think the NPD actually includes all like the loot boxes and the gambling and all that. So honestly, if you think about all the in-game purchases, this number's even bigger and astronomical. Like it's kind of scary to a certain degree.
Oh yeah, of course. David, your thoughts here on gaming continuing to increase quarter after quarter?
I mean that's good overall. It's kind of expected. Everyone's buying new systems, right? So everyone's buying new games to go with it. And continue. Plus, we're still kind of in a pandemic, right? People are still staying at home because the U.S. is kind of opening up more. Around the world, it's still kind of in a lockdown. So I know the U.S. numbers are pretty good, but I know definitely there's still definitely revenue coming in from overseas and the EU, and Japan and stuff like that. So those are increasing for them as well. But still, a lot of people, even though you can go out, a lot of people are still staying home. So they're still just playing video games. Obviously, it may decrease. I would assume majority of video game number sales probably decrease during the summer. Probably why you don't see no big hitters come out during the summertime because a lot of people tend to go out. But we do have Ratchet and Clank coming out in June. We'll see. But then again, that's a perfect game because that market is for kind of kids and adults, and kids start summer break in June. So that's what they're thinking. So that's perfect planning on that part from a marketing standpoint. A great way for them to increase more revenue there, and definitely probably gonna pick it up and have to play it. Because gotta play more games on this PS5. Gotta put it to use.
That could be one of the first next gen games we review on AM Nation Pod. Full blown what I mean by that, because like some of the games we talked about are on next gen consoles. However, this is the one that's only on a next gen console. It's only on PS5. It's not available on PS4. So that will be something interesting as well. Junior, your thoughts on video game numbers in the United States? Just doing fantastic as usual now.
I mean, I think it's great. I mean, like David said, we're still kind of like in the middle of a pandemic. I mean, we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but it's still going to be a while before we're fully back to operational, standards, I guess. It's not like it's going to be something that's going to happen, within the next 2-3 weeks. It's going to be something that happens like later on in the year. I know, you know, concerts are coming back towards the end of the year, in certain states. They're testing the waters to see how things are going. But in the meantime, we're still stuck at home. People are still gonna try to, watch, Netflix or Disney. People like us are still gonna want to play video games, and with the like, BK and David said, with the next gens that came out, everybody's still gonna want to play that next game or that next big game. So no better time to do it than now.
100%. Yes, video games continue to do fantastic, and that is why we're able to still do shows every Thursday to talk video games with all of you. I think that wraps up all the news we had for the show this evening, everybody. So thank you for listening. Thanks for listening on podcast services such as Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and more. Make sure you search us on those, follow it so you get every episode sent to you, including tomorrow night we record Mortal Kombat review. That will be awesome. Also, thanks for listening on twitch.tv/Undead Black Bull, where you can follow David on there as he streams throughout the week. We stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays with him for the shows. Tuesday sports show, Thursday gaming show. Make sure you follow him on there and you give him a sub as well. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free sub a month. So give it to Undead Black Bull. Also find us on Twitter and Instagram. It's at AmNationPod. Hit the follow button on both of those. On YouTube, search Amalgamation Nation and hit that sub button. If you have any questions, comments, anything for us, leave a voicemail or text the show. It's 815-556-9089. Earlier, I talked about getting the GG app. Go ahead and download that. It's the perfect way to keep track of all your video games. Keep track of your backlog. Some of us, including myself and BK for sure, have massive backlogs right now. So it's easier for us to keep track of that, make lists, have reviews of games, all that good stuff. And they're constantly adding updates to it, which is also great. And of course, throughout the whole month of May, we are teaming up with Undead Black Bull, the whole group, We're all doing raising money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. It's a great cause. Do it for the kids. You can find the link on our pinned tweet on AM Nation at AM Nation Pod on Twitter. It's also David tweets it out on his Twitter at Undead Black Bull. If we hit the goal of $500, I will take a pie to the face. So go ahead, donate the $500, and apparently after that happens on the next show following that, I take a pie to the face. So hit the $500, everybody. Could we start off the month of May with it? That'd be pretty.
I don't know.
dope.
We'll see. A lot of people were talking. I don't see no. I
Yeah.
don't see no
A lot of
coming in.
talking, no action.
No money.
Now it's time to see them back it up.
Not backing it up. But the goal is actually we have to hit it before the end of May. Can't carry over.
Yeah,
So have to hit it before the end of May.
So a lot of people talking the talk, but don't see them
like
walking the
3 days
walk.
before May. So it can't be like the 31st. I think there's a cutoff. I gotta look it up, but I'm pretty sure there's a cutoff.
All right, so get it in there. I know tomorrow's Friday. Everybody's getting paid. All right, pay to get me pied in the face in this beautiful mug.
And it could happen on the Mortal Kombat show potentially. You know?
Wow, that would be nuts. I would
that
be
would be
so
wild.
upset that I'd have to stop at a store after work to get pie stuff to get pie in my face. Oh my goodness! Don't wait till Tuesday. As always, everybody, thank you for listening.
Frank, I will take a pumpkin pie into the face just for you, Frank.
Hey, that man wants pumpkin pie really bad, bro.
Only because then I'm gonna eat pumpkin pie.
This guy, Frank, appreciate you.
I'm gonna come over to your house and I'm gonna cut
here.
up a slice first.
Pumpkin pie, right? I would assume so.
This guy comes out here bashing my boy Jay Cuddy and wants me to listen to him to take pumpkin pie to the face. You gotta be bleeping me.
I don't even know if can I pick up pumpkin pie in the stores this time of year.
He says the Jula got it, bro.
You could just go to the bakery and ask for one to be made.
Go to a bakery, Junior? What is this, man? What is this? I'm gonna go down the street,
grocery store, and they don't have it there.
Down the cobblestone path, and ask my baker to bake me a pumpkin pie. Is that what I'm doing? I'm doing. Good.
Do you go to the grocery store?
I do, but I don't. I know, but I always see like birthday cakes and stuff, and I don't know. Junior, just like, could I please have some pumpkin pie, please?
Hey, if you're desperate, you're desperate, all right?
Hey, you do what you gotta do, bro.
Yeah, I'm like you, Junior. I go to the bakery section. Like sometimes they got a nice sourdough bread in there. Sometimes I want some nice fresh cut deli meats or cheeses. I'm all about the fresh baked goods at the grocery store at the Food Lion.
I'm gonna go this weekend. I'm
fresh
gonna
baked brownies.
Ooh yeah, or if you're at Jewel out here in Chicagoland, you get some brookies. Ooh man. Dan's listening. He just got real moist. It's a brookie, a cookie, and a brownie, dude. A brookie.
Is it a brownie on top, cookie underneath?
No. It's like cookie inside the brownie.
Inside of it, it's like a turducken.
Yes.
Gotcha.
It's
okay.
fantastic.
I'm gonna get one when I come next month or or a month and a half. I'm looking at the Airbnb tonight. And then we're gonna look at flights, and so we're gonna get all that stuff probably booked here this weekend. So we'll have to do all that. Colleen's already got off this. We're trying to see if she might call out on the 2nd, so then that way we can fly like first thing on like the 3rd, where I potentially could look at like a 7 a.m. flight here. Just try to get there early. Start partying. Oh yeah, is everyone off that Thursday? You should get off. Just whatever. Or I'll just come to your work and then just be an asshole.
There it is. There's the $5.
There it is.
I'm a good use of it.
there it is.
Thursday the 3rd? And then you leave when?
The 6th. Sunday.
Yeah, so
not the evening on Sunday, just because all of us have to work Monday, and then because the airport for me, because I'm even further away than our buddies in Greenville, that's like a. That's like a 2.5 hour drive for me. So when we get back in town, then I gotta drive forever to get there. So.
Well, we will plan that. Everybody, it's time for my favorite time of the week. Junior, take us away with the quote of the week.
Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. Robert Collier.
As always, everybody, be safe, be kind to one another, bear down, and stay buried.